This has to be one of the easiest setups to use. I mean, just plugging that receiver in, putting the lav mic on me, and start talking. That was awful. That was literally awful. What's up, everybody? On today's show, we're taking a look at some new wireless mics from Godox. These are the Virso M2. I'm actually using the Virso S M2. That just means that it's the Sony version. And that brings me to my first big point of why I love these microphones. See, Godox is the first company to actually use Sony's multi-interface shoe, meaning I'm able to use these microphones without a TRRS cable plugged into the camera. You literally just take the mic's receiver, put it straight on the hot shoe, and there you go. You've got clean audio. That is huge. Anybody who does content creation knows what a hassle that is, just having that little cable right in front of the screen that you're trying to actually see. To be able to film and not have that mic cable in the way, that is huge. Now, I don't have friends, but anyway, point being, if I were more socially inclined, I would be able to illustrate right now that you may think this is a two-channel system, i.e. 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, but it's actually a 3-channel system. See, with the Godox Virso M2, not only do you have the 2 transmitters, the receiver actually has its own built-in mic, so if you're standing behind the camera filming, you're able to talk and that mic will pick that up as well, so you have these 3 points of audio that's pretty cool and pretty unique. You know, if I was a wedding photographer or I was filming any type of corporate interviews, this is something I would definitely take note of. This is such a game changer to have your camera person not need to wear a separate mic, to have all of that just going straight into the camera. Just the sheer convenience and ease of use. Plus, it's just incredibly useful too. Also, another big bonus with these microphones is the battery life. You get about 13 hours with the transmitters and about 17 hours with the receiver on a single charge. And on top of that, they come with a really handy charging case, which I've been using, and I absolutely love it. Plus, not only do they have a safety track that's -6 decibels, they actually have a slot for a micro SD card that supports up to 256 gigabytes. So you have all of this extra backup space for your recording, and you can use these as standalone recorders as well. Okay, I've switched over now from the Virso S M2 to the regular Virso M2. The only difference in these 2 microphone systems is the S has the multi-interface shoe for Sony, whereas the M2 does not. Otherwise, audio is exactly the same on these. However, I also switched cameras for this bit too. So before I was filming on a Sony A7C. This segment I'm actually filming on a Canon RP. So if you do hear any difference in audio, that's more of the camera's preamps and less of the actual microphones themselves. Whoa, hang on. This is me in the future editing this video. It actually sounded way better on the Canon than the Sony. And here's something that I didn't realize. When you use the multi-interface shoe on the Sony, you can't actually set the audio manually. You're kind of stuck in these sort of auto settings, and the only thing you can do is adjust the settings on the microphones themselves. Whereas on the Canon, it's just traditional audio settings. You know, you go into the camera and you set your levels manually. Setting them manually sounded so much better to me. I don't know if you guys are watching this, maybe watch it with headphones on and see, because it was a world of difference. That kind of makes me rethink how I use these on the Sony then. I almost feel like when using the multi-interface shoe on the Sony camera, I would use it in more casual settings when it's just sort of fun videos for me or some kind of casual YouTube video. But now, if it comes to like professional work, I do think I might actually use the TRS cable on the Sony and plug it in directly because it sounded much better to me that way. Anyway, back to the video. Anyway, these mics are rated for a distance of about 650 feet or 200 meters. So let's take a walk around and see how far we can go before it loses signal. Anyway, still walking, still talking. How's it doing? Is it picking me up all right? Is this audio clean? How about now? This must be about the limit of the mic's wireless distance. Is it still picking me up clean and clear? Can you actually hear me all right? Let's walk back a little bit further and see just how far we can actually go. I'm gonna guess that's probably cutting out right here because I have my back to the camera and I'm super far away. But how about now? If I come all the way back here, is that still picking me up from here? Because this is really far away. It's so far away that I can't even see the articulating screen on the camera. I don't even know if I'm in frame or not. I'm just hoping that I am. How does it sound? Is it still clear or is it actually cutting out now? Just out of curiosity, I'll take a few steps back too. I'm gonna guess that this is probably way out of range. I don't think it can hear me from here. Anyway, I come out to this field because it's nice and quiet. But literally the second I hit record on the camera, planes start flying overhead or like motorcycles start driving by on that road right there. It's like someone who hates good audio just sits there watching me, just waiting for my finger to touch that record button and then pow. All right, motorcycles, all right, planes, go get them. Do your thing. How did that sound? Also, how does this look? Anyway, this was just a quick look at the regular Virso M2 on a Canon RP. We're about to switch back now to the Virso S M2 on Sony A7C. You know, I kind of think of it this way. I've been making these YouTube videos for about 4 years now. And in that time, I've tried what feels like 80,000 different microphones. These Godox Virso M2 mics are the first time that I've really been wowed by a set of microphones. You know, they have so many features that you're not finding on other mics. For me as a Sony user, just the fact that they are utilizing that multi-interface shoe, that is huge beyond belief. This has to be one of the quickest setups that I've ever used in terms of wireless mics. You know, just being able to plug that directly into the camera's hot shoe, put the lav mic on me and start filming, that is awesome. You know, when you think of it that way, it's cableless when you're on a Sony camera. You've got 3 audio channels instead of just 2. You have excellent battery life. You have a huge amount of backup track. You know, that 256 gigabyte card will give you about 400 hours of audio. You've got excellent range and distance, and on top of that, you're just getting genuinely good audio. Plus, it all comes in a really nice package with a charging case and genuinely good lav mics as well. For me, personally, doing these types of YouTube videos, this is 100% yes for me. These are one of the best wireless mic systems that I've ever used in the entire time that I've been filming this channel. Anyway, I think that's all I got for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.